Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. We're kind of in a sideways, indecisive market. However, we still have the advantage of being able to identify the ultimate candlestick patterns to produce profits no matter which way the market is going. Right now, as we can see, the Dow is in a downward trajectory, but it's not doing anything that would show any real decisive selling, kind of bobbling on its way down. You add that to the analysis of the NASDAQ, where the NASDAQ, after it turned around with a reversal, has not yet been able to close back below the T-line. So this kind of indicates that there's going to be sectors that are acting well, while there are other sectors not doing anything on a positive note. So last week, we kind of recommended buying the gold and silver stocks, the Bitcoin stocks, and staying short in the banking stocks. That still puts us in a good situation where something like Newmont Mining, you can see what we call the bobble breakout. The reason we put this in the category of an ultimate candlestick pattern is that it's doing exactly what we know as far as a pattern setup, and it's doing it at a level that everybody and their brother is watching. So you can see the first move came right up to the 50 and the 200, pulled back, and this is where the T-line becomes a very reliable indicator. Look where they pulled back to, right smack dab to the T-line. Now, when they come back up, doing a J-hook pattern. Now, if you took off the 200 and the 50 off this chart, you'd still have a J-hook pattern. But the reason it becomes much more effective is everybody's watching to see what it's going to do here at these moving averages. So this allows us to be able to start buying on positive trading because of the expected results coming off this pattern number one, and knowing it's going to be enhanced by the fact that everybody's just waiting to see whether it's going to be trading above the or come up through the moving averages, are going to start piling in, because what are most investors told to do? You don't want to be buying until they come up through resistance levels like the moving averages. So the other stocks in that sector, you can see AU did the same thing over here. And what was the expected results? More upside. That this area told you that everybody else was starting to buy. So the gold stocks are still working. The banking stocks are still in a downtrend. And there's a lot of good bearish patterns. As you can see in GTB or GTLB, the big gap down crack of the investor sentiment, they tried to bring it back up through the T-line, selling it off. This gives you a good indication that you got now a bearish J-hook pattern in progress. So the moving averages provide a much more decisive place to be buying or selling. You can see in Roku doing a bearish doji sandwich, closing right on the 50. The same scenario. Everybody's watching to see what it's going to do with the 50-day moving average. If it opens lower, it's definitely confirming the bearish doji sandwich, which obviously failed here at the 200. That lower open just gives you an extremely high probability factor that you're now in a strong downtrend. Now, obviously, if it opens positive and trades positive, the 50 is still acting as support. If it opens lower and starts trading lower, it's confirming the bearish signal as well as telling you the 50 is not going to remain as a support anymore. Same scenario on something like MNSO, kind of a dumpling top right here at the 50. If this opens lower, remember, prices do not move based upon fundamentals. Prices move based upon the perception of fundamentals. If they open this lower, below the support level of the 50, that means you probably got a strong downtrend. So these type of things are much more relevant as far as investment price moves, than people telling you, oh, you should be buying XYZ because their fundamentals are good. If nobody's buying that stock at that time, you're not going to make money. So join us. We always have the 2-week free trial open where you can come in and experience our chat rooms that have a lot of good eyes looking for the strong price moves and a lot of good intelligence. But if you have questions about candlestick analysis, that's where you get it answered real quick. So join us. You get a lot more information than you expect in our chat rooms. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.